morning, Your Worship. Welcome to Zunheboto.
Take picture.
Good morning, Your Worship.
Really nice to see you.
Court, General Slow, Parliament, sus! Court, Adopt, sus! Zunheboto, no ensures, 백백holder, 허정원 화술의 설만 Court, 어거 섰! 전들의 결혼을 해 Court, 비서전!
God Almighty, Creator of heaven and earth, we come before you with a grateful heart for everything that you have done in our life and for the completion of this rebuilding work. With a human makes plan, we used to think, but everything, the success comes from you, Lord. Nagaland. And as we prepare ourselves to unveil this work,
Today we have the honor of our Lordship unveiling the plaque of the District Court Complex, Zunheboto. May we request the District Judge Zunheboto to read out.
The District Court Complex, Zunheboto, inaugurated by Honorable Mr. Justice Songkhupchung Serto, Judge Guwahati High Court, and Portfolio Judge of Zunheboto District, in the presence of Honorable Mr. Justice Hakito Sima, Judge Guwahati High Court, and Sri Abhijit Sinha, IAS, Commissioner and Secretary, Department of Justice and Law, Government of Nagaland, on Saturday, the 26th of March 2022. Thank you.
Director, please come.
The song talks about the glory of God, His blessings, and seeking God's wisdom and guidance as we work together for a better future. May I invite the South Point East Azalini to kindly present the welcome song.
Hello.
Srimati Pukunuyoshi, NGS, Civil Judge cum Judicial Magistrate First Class, Zunheboto. Our Chief Inaugural Guest, my Lord, Honorable Mr. Justice Songkhupchung Serto, Judge, Guwahati High Court, Portfolio Judge of Zunheboto District. His Lordship, Honorable Mr. Justice Abhijit Sinha, Judge, Guwahati High Court. Respected Commissioner and Secretary to the Government of Nagaland, Department of Justice and Law, Sir Abhijit Sinha, IAS. Madam Nino Iralo, Secretary Judicial, Department of Justice and Law, Government of Nagaland. Sir Nico Kami, Registrar, Guwahati High Court, Kohima Bench. Engineer Santi Amar, C.A. Taguti, Nagaland, Kohima. Sir Akitu Jimomi, President, Nagaland Bar Association. Sri Joshua, General Secretary, Guwahati High Court, Bar Association. President, Zunheboto Bar Association. Esteemed learned members of the bar, Mr. Rahul Mali, IAS, the Deputy Commissioner of Zunheboto, the Commandant 8 NLTV, Mrs. Ruth, all HOTs of the Zunheboto District, SPH Zunheboto, church leaders, STEM NGOs, civil societies from Zunheboto, friends from media fraternity, faculty members, and students from Government College Zunheboto, and ladies and gentlemen. On this momentous occasion, I have every pleasure to welcome each and every one of you here on behalf of the judiciary of Zunheboto District in the midst of all the honored, distinguished dignitaries on the dais. It is extraordinary privilege and my service career as a judicial officer to welcome you all distinguished guests, personalities on this epoch-making day in the history of judiciary and Zunheboto District. With all immense pleasure, I on behalf of the judiciary have pleasure to welcome to the land of warriors. This new and magnificent building, as we see today, as District Court Complex Zunheboto, is to my considered knowledge and information has become a reality due to the relentless and continued efforts accorded by our Lordship, Honorable Justice S. Serto. His Lordship effort and considered initiative was by any stretch of measure truly exemplary, which is worthy of emulation by all of us. In the same measure, I exceedingly grateful to our Honorable Chief Minister of Nagaland and his Council of Ministers and all the officials involved for their considered initiative and actions. With these few words, I have every pleasure to welcome you all distinguished personalities on this memorable and auspicious occasion. It is my earnest privilege and solicitation on behalf of the judiciary of Zunheboto District that all of you will have a pleasant and comfortable stay in the land of warriors today. God bless you all. Thank you.
I now request the Assistant I now request
and Portfolio Judge Zunheboto. Respected Presiding Judge of this morning, Kakito Sema, Mr. Justice Kakito Sema. Respected Commissioner and Secretary, Sri Justice and Law Department, Sri Abhijit Sinha, IAS. Respected Secretary, Judicial, Srimati Nino Iralu. Respected District and Session Judge Adumba Inchin, the requirements of the department, incorporating all the requisite requirements of the building. It is indeed a proud moment for the state that this district court has come into a reality which was a long felt need of the department and the district as a whole. On a factual note, the construction has taken almost 8 years to complete, we had lots of push and pull in between the department, the executive agency, and the contractor. However, as planned, all has come into an end with the successful completion of the court. I would like to thank the Almighty God that this project was started during my first inning in CAWD, and today I am so glad that we could complete and inaugurate during my second inning as Executive Engineer CAWD. A brief technical report. The total estimated costs, including sites and services, is ₹829.46 lakhs. Date of commencement, 17th of August 2012. Date of completion, 28th July 2021. The name of the contractor, TV Constructions, proprietor Sri Atovi Momi, registered contractor. The building is a D+3 story RC structure with a total clean area of 27,984 square feet. The details of the buildings comprises of the ground floor 11 rooms, 2 attached toilets, 2 common toilets. First floor 17 rooms, 5 attached toilets and 2 common toilets. Second floor 20 rooms, 2 attached toilets and 2 common toilets. Third floor 6 rooms, 4 courtrooms and 4 attached toilets. I salute the contractor, Sri Atomi Zimomi, for the job well done. Well, besides my technical report, it will not be complete if I don't thank and acknowledge our most honorable portfolio judge, Mr. Justice Serto, if not for his constant monitoring and insistence of this early completion, this project will not have come into a reality today. Along with this district court, with his insistence, we will complete and inaugurate district court Wokhal also last year. Thank you so much, sir, for all your efforts, sir. Wish you all the best. God bless. Thank you.
And it would not be proper if I do not make a few introductions to the gathering here, since we have such a sizable gathering for this function this morning. So I would like to begin by introducing to you Honorable Mr. Justice Songkhupchung Serto, a person who just doesn't talk, but a person who walks the talk also. And we are very grateful for his worship's concern with regard not to the judiciary just in this district of Zunheboto, but the judiciary in the entire state. He has deep concerns about where we are heading and where we should go as far as the judiciary is concerned, and we are very grateful for his guidance. And we hope that in days come also he will continue to guide us. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in applauding the Honorable Mr. Justice S. Soto. Along with him, someone who belongs to this district, someone who is a dear friend of the bar, a former member of the bar, and now sits on the bench, a son of the soil, someone on whom we will be calling on in the future for his guidance, for his thoughts, as far as the direction of the judiciary is concerned, the Honorable Mr. Justice Kaketo Sema. And of course, all this would not be possible if the machinery of the state were not involved. And Mr. Abhijit Sinha has been the Commissioner Secretary of the Department of Law and Justice for quite some time, and he also has concerns about how the judiciary should function, and he has put in a lot of effort to see that the infrastructure is put in place. Mr. Abhijit Sinha, Commissioner Secretary, IAS. And we have a dear lady whom we all know and love very much, the Secretary, Department of Justice and Law. Not much needs to be said about her, Ms. Inaugural. And we are blessed today, perhaps this is the first day in office and the first official function, your new Deputy Commissioner, Mr. Rahul Malik. The honor dignity for any introductions. I welcome all of you on behalf of the bar to this gathering. I also want to say a few words. Steps have been taken, many steps have been taken, and the judicial infrastructure is in the process of being set up. Many have been set up, some are still in the process of being set up. And like I was saying earlier, it is not necessary just to talk, but also to walk the talk. And therefore, a lot needs to be done, much more needs to be done as far as setting up the judicial infrastructure the state is concerned. And for that, we will require the guidance and the thoughts of our two honorable judges, and we expect that we will get their support and cooperation even in the days to come. Having said that, the separation of the judiciary from the executive has come to fruition for all of us, and it has been welcomed by the bar, by one and all. I suppose the common citizenry do not really understand what the separation from the judiciary, the separation of the judiciary from the executive is, but I can assure you it is a very, very welcome step. In addition to the separation of the judiciary from the executive, as a member of the bar, we are very concerned about having our own separate court, our own separate high court. I will tell the people gathered here just a very simple thing. We must impress upon our leadership. We must impress upon everyone that we need to have a separate high court for the state of Nagaland. Simply put, are we Nagalanders not capable of deciding for ourselves what is right and wrong? As it stands right now, we are under the Guwahati High Court. So Guwahati decides for us what is right and wrong. I say the time has come for all of us to put our heads together, put our efforts together, and to see that it is we who decide what is right and wrong for ourselves, not from outside. So Lord, with these few words, once again, on behalf of the bar, on behalf of the legal fraternity, I thank all of you for your presence here today. Thank you.
Officials of different departments of the district, the engineer, without whom this building could not have been completed, Mr. Sungtiba Amer, friends from the press, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, it is a great joy for me to be here, to be a part of the celebration. First of all, I want to thank God the Almighty, who has made this day possible. And I want to thank the people who have been involved in starting this project and completing it, starting from the past and present commissioners, principal secretaries, and other officers of the law department, officers of the Guwahati High Court, Kohima bench, officers of the PWD, no? CAWE, other department officers who have helped us to make this building complete, like the power department, water supply, PWD, who have given us the road. I hope they'll give us black topping road soon. And the landowner, without whose generosity we would not have had this land, the contractor who actually constructed this building for us. Last but not the least, I want to thank the Ministry of Law and Justice in Delhi who gave us the money, and the state government. Indeed, everyone has said the importance of having our own building. Justice delivery involves so many things. You don't need only the officers and staffs, but you also need a building. Without a building, you will have no place to sit and no place to dispense justice. So we have always longed for a proper building, and today, by God's grace, we have one here before us. And I want to congratulate the people of Zunheboto. I'm sure you will nurture this institution and protect it jealously. If you nurture and protect this institution jealously, you will reap the benefits. when new institution comes, there is some apprehension in the mind of the people for the very reason that it's a new institution. We are not very familiar with it. We already have our own way of doing things, so naturally it is human to be a little suspicious whether this will protect our age-old practices, our uses, our customary laws. I want to assure the people of Zunheboto and the district that your customary laws, your uses are relevant. And we write our judgments based on that. The laws that are you look at today, which are implemented through the courts, don't come and destroy your customs and uses. Our customary laws and uses are considered as one of the most important sources of law. And our civil courts decide your rights, titles, based on your customary laws. Changes takes place as human history goes on. We progress. As the society changes, laws keep on changing as per the need of the society. Laws which were relevant yesterday may not be relevant today any longer. So one has to accept changes. That's why we have parliament, we have legislatures to make laws to meet the needs of our society. Laws are made after a long deliberation, after it goes through a lot of processes. So our legislators, be it in parliament or be it in the state, they don't make mistakes. They hardly make mistakes. Then we say, give human error some room. They hardly make mistakes when they make laws. So you would have seen that we people in the court don't interfere so much on the laws made by the legislators. Very few you would have seen in the history that law made by parliament and legislature are struck down by courts. The problem here is the laws made by the executives. They are made to meet exigencies for short-term purposes. So it is inherent in them that sometimes they are not exactly meeting the needs and the purpose. And that is why courts come very often to strike them. Longer relevant, you will agree with me. Huh, Mr. Joshua? You agree with me, right? Likewise, there are some other laws which are no longer relevant. Some practices, some ways of our trials in our customary courts which are no longer relevant. For example, our oaths. In the tribal community, we take oath, isn't it? If I say wrong, let a tiger eat me. Today we don't have tigers anymore, right? So I will say it easily because there's no more tiger to eat me. So oaths become just for a namesake. So laws change as the society changes. Laws are made to meet the needs of the society. So we must accept changes. And we must progress. Well, friends, I see a lot of young people studying law from Nagaland, and I see a lot of aspiration and hope in their eyes. And I must tell you that I've had the privilege of meeting judicial officers of the country because I was involved in some committee or the other of the All India Judges Association. I have met lawyers of the country as a lawyer. I practiced almost 7 years before I joined service. And I was in the service for 21 years before I became a High Court judge. Now I have completed 6 years. If I say that I know a little bit of Indian judiciary and who are there, I may not be committing so much of a mistake. So what I'm trying to tell you is our boys and girls are no lesser than anybody in the country. We can even do better, right? You can do better, right? But the institution must be there. The institution must be there. We must respect the institution. We must nurture it. We must protect it jealously. Where there is no justice, there cannot be peace and tranquility. Justice, when we talk of justice, the value may be very small. When two persons fight, they fight over something. The value, the monetary value may be very small, but the hurt it causes, the cause of it is so much, because it creates so much unhappiness in somebody. So every dispute is very important. It must be resolved. It must be resolved. Today, we are inventing a lot of methods or reinventing a lot of methods of resolving disputes through Lok Adalat. You must have seen the newspapers. Last month in October, was it? Was it October, September? We had our Lok Adalat, National Lok Adalat over the country. And in our state, we resolve disputes of value of almost 4 crores. And recently also, we resolve disputes of the value of almost 4 crores again. People who have taken loan could not pay back. Even before the cases are filed, we have resolved those. Banks come forward, they forgo some interest, so the loanee comes and gives with minus the interest. And we also resolve issues through mediation. And our Dubasi courts, I feel, are the best institutions through which you can do mediation, because Dubasis, they know the people there. They know them. And they know the root cause of the fight, which people in dispute don't tell out everything, but the Dubasis know inside also why actually they fight. So they are the best people to play the role of mediators. And our parliament, in their wisdom, have provided in our civil code, right? That any dispute coming before a civil court must be first referred to for mediation, isn't it? Bukono will know better. Mediation. So courts don't take cases straight away. We send them for mediation first. Because when disputes are resolved through mediation, it is a win-win situation for both the parties. They go back smiling. No more fighting. They go back smiling because it's win-win situation. Acceptable. The settlement is acceptable for both. So it keeps the society's fabric intact. We have trained mediators among our judicial officers, among our lawyers. We are planning to train more. And civil society members also can come forward to get training for mediation. Mediation is very important in our tribal society. Well, friends, this is your district court. I must again appeal to you to protect it jealously, nurture it. It will deliver good for you. Congratulations and God bless you. Thank you.
Commissioner Zunheboto also with us. Engineer Sungtiba Amer, Executive Engineer CAWD, all the judicial officers, learned members from the bar, the staff, government servants present here today, people from civil society organizations, ladies and gentlemen. I feel very happy and privileged to be a part of this function today which we are having, wherein the newly constructed district court complex Zunheboto has just got inaugurated by Honorable Justice S. Serto. Now, as informed by our engineers CAWD, the construction of this building got initiated in 2012, and considering that we are in 2022, it has taken some time to get fully completed. And as we have come to know, there have been issues in getting it completed. But we are happy now that we could finally complete, and today it has got inaugurated. And there have been continuous efforts put in by a lot of people all along, particularly by our Honorable Justice S. Serto, because his constant monitoring and guidance helped us to make this complete, and today we are in position to inaugurate it. I also have to thank the executive agency CAWD also, and the contractor also. I think in spite of many things happening all around, he could finally put in place everything and got this building completed. So as we see, the building behind has come up well, and it is befitting for the purpose for which it has been made, that is housing the district court complex of Zunheboto. I would just like to share something about other districts. Till some time we are having 12 districts, so not including the 4 newly created. We have now in 7 districts a separate building for the courts. We have court complexes. And with today's inauguration of this building, so out of 16, I would say now, we have in 8 districts an independent district court complex. And I am also happy to share with you that we are making active efforts to complete the ongoing construction that is going on in District Court Complex Songkhupchung. So we expect that to complete by this year. And this Mon also District Court Complex, we will try our best to get the foundation stone laid before the monsoon sets in, so that we can start some construction, because as we know in our state, our window period for carrying out many construction activities is limited because of the monsoons. So we have to make best use of the time when we have dry season. And I assure you on behalf of the Department of Justice and Law that we are continue taking necessary steps to see that district courts in all the other remaining districts also, we have their court complexes soon and they start functioning. And I conclude by placing on record my deepest appreciation to everyone involved in planning, conceptualizing, and executing the construction of this court complex. I convey my gratitude to Honorable Mr. Justice S. Serto, who constantly monitored the project, as I said earlier, for ensuring its completion, and also for gracing today's function and inaugurating the court complex for us. And I also convey my gratitude to Honorable Mr. Justice Kakato Sema, who is from this place, but for consenting to come to Zunheboto and gracing today's program with his august presence. So I thank you everyone, and I wish all the courts which will start functioning here, all of them a lot of success, and my best wishes to them. Thank you.
Indeed, a pride and a privilege for me to be in this program on the inauguration of the district court at Zunheboto. I am more privileged because as a native of this district, I have the opportunity to be a part of this program. About 18 to 20 years back, I came to Zunheboto to conduct a case. And during that time, it was Additional Deputy Commissioner Judicial who was manning the court. So I came to Zunheboto to conduct a case. It was 18, 20 years back. And I actually left Zunheboto after conducting the case with a very, very poor impression about the court. The ADC Judicial, who was actually exercising the powers of the Additional District and Session Judge, he was sitting in a very, very small room, not befitting his status. He was sitting in a very small room. And then there were about two or three chairs for the visitors to sit. It was very old, rickety, and I had the honor of sitting in one of those chairs. And fortunately or unfortunately, the design of the chairs were also different. So I was not having a very good impression about the chamber where the ADC was sitting. Thereafter, I was taken to the court. I was taken to the court. It was on the first floor. The courtroom was in a more bad shape. So I am absolutely very glad to be a part of this program. In fact, I was having some difficulties, but fortunately, God has opened this time for me to be with my people, to be with in my district, and to observe the inauguration of this program. I am also made to understand that there is a very important service missing in the hierarchy of posts of the judiciary at the district court Zunheboto. That is to do with the post of the Chief Judicial Magistrate. And I would therefore request our respected Commissioner and Secretary to please take note of this post, because actually in a district court has to function with the district and session judge, the judicial magistrate, the Chief Judicial Magistrate, and the Judicial Magistrate first class. So the missing link here is the Chief Judicial Magistrate. And we are also told that the department has already, the judiciary has already put up the post to the government. So if you can kindly take note of this, and if you can kindly apprise the government about the urging need to have this post, I'll be grateful to you. Ishe akapahile simlavikepo ola shiri berva. Gala kamashpai kumsura bizna rahipola sulanwe. Evona ilo givishanye nilkinierla iberena akapah ambe chup tacha mguzla. Nyet bugela legal khalaki kinyagya kela kotla sase khogela tiuna loksau. Clap to chergum to hilipe boko fusigala loid. New government shikim thanye government na
26 March 2022 de 11 am pra shuru kurna Zunheboto de district court complex ekta inaugurate kurisha aru aji laga inaugural program de Mr. Justice S. Serto, Judge Guwahati High Court tai gena itu chief guest kurse aro tai bar hi itu inaugural plaque to tai unveil kurse na itu bi apne nge janai dia ase. This is committed with my video journalist George Lung for Nagaland TV.